What is what is going on? How is everyone this evening? Hope everybody's well. We got some NXL stuff to talk about today. But first, let's, we'll wait for people to get here and just talk to the chat room for a little bit. I see we have Radioactive Fortnite Balls. It says, hey Brad, would you recommend me the LV2? I have no budget and I'm saving for a gun. I don't know. I mean, if you've got no budget, it might be a little bit hard. I mean, are you looking to spend just as much money as absolutely possible? I don't know. LV2 is fantastic, but it's expensive, so I mean, it's a very good paintball gun, but there's a lot of very other good paintball guns that are quite a bit cheaper. So I don't know. I mean, if it's worth it to you, I don't know. You want the best and newest paintball gun? Probably the CS3. I mean, the CS3 is newer. And, I kind of think it's a little better. I think I kind of prefer the way the CS3 shoots. I think I prefer the ergonomics. But then again, you can get something for about half the price that's probably, 99% just as good in something like the, 180R. But if you're saving, I'd wait a couple months anyway, because at the World Cup here in November, we might see some new paintball guns that you like. Yeah. Where is everybody? I want to see if we can find people in Europe. I always want to know, where people are at and who I'm actually talking to in these chats. Meanwhile, yo, Brad, super chats or merch sales, best way to support Paintball Ruin My Life. It probably matters how much, I would prefer people buy merch. I very much appreciate people buying merch. I forgot I moved stuff around a little bit. Kind of like that stuff right there. Mainly because, I have it. And, you get something for that money, at least. And, it's probably make more money selling merch, weirdly enough. They'll just let you know how much YouTube takes away. Puerto Rico? Juan, you're here in Puerto Rico. Isaac in Los Angeles. We have 2 people telling me where they're at. I know there's more than 2 of you in the goddamn chat room. Or at least there's more than 2 of you people watching this thing. Puerto Rico, that's the furthest away. Oh, there's Germany. From Guam? Damn, people are all over the goddamn place. Michigan? That's not as exciting as Guam and Puerto Rico. Boston? That's pretty good. Scott says, hey Brad, if you're into woodsball style gameplay, check out Velocity Paintball in San Diego. I have seen Velocity. I've seen Velocity Paintball. It's, I don't know if I've ever... No, I've not been there. I was wondering if I'd been there. Connor Johnston from New Zealand, below Australia. Or to the right a little bit. It's to the right. It's not completely below it, It's like over here or something. Something like that. Hello, chat. What's up, Mark? Why can't I send money? I don't know, dude. I appreciate it, though. I feel it's weird when, I know people that do super chats, too, so. How is everybody? Good, I hope. Hyped about the Project G3 next week. I don't know anything about the Project G3. I missed that one. The Project G3. The Project G3. I don't know anything about the project. Project G3. What is the actual Project G3 going to be? They did 2 versions of those. They did what'd they do first? The Lux and then the LV2? Oh, wow. Super chats, guys. I don't know what that was all about. That was a little Nazi-ish. Anyway, Beef Supreme made me think about Taco Bell. Love the stream, Brad. Yeah, man, the CS3 is amazing. Wow. Love from Spokane, Washington. I thought you said live from Spokane, Washington. Oh, you're live from Spokane, too. Super chats, guys. I appreciate it so much. Eric, EP, again. Sacramento Street Fighters Vegas 2024. I can't wait. Hopefully it's fun. It'll be fun. Paintball tournaments are always fun. Like, subscribe, and support. I appreciate that so much, you know. I think that's Randy. I was thinking about you, Randy. We gotta start practicing for NXL. I don't know how we're going to, you know, it's 10-man airball. We definitely gotta start doing something. You know, one thing I noticed that I was watching like gameplay footage from last weekend, and I don't talk enough. I think that when I'm in these like forward front positions, I don't speak and I don't talk as much as I should. When I'm in the back, I've got no problem with it. But like for some reason, when I like play front, it's a little bit harder for me to like talk. You know, I think that I'm like thinking a little bit more than when I play in the back. And I always don't want to be like yelling when I'm in like 50 snakes so they kind of know where I'm at. Is Planet Eclipse going to release some new guns soon? Or should I just go with the LV2? LV2 or CS3, they're not going to release. I would be like shocked if we saw like brand new high-end guns from Planet Eclipse. That's some in my mouth. That would be kind of interesting. The Project CS3. So they're going to release the CS3. I don't know, I missed that. I don't know where I'd see that information at. That would be cool, though. Speaking of CS3s, let's watch this. This was, and then we'll pull up my notes as well. I don't really need. Yeah, let's do this. We're gonna watch. We're gonna watch NXL Chicago Open. No, Chicago Major Finals. We're just gonna skip through this kind of a little bit. This is actually a good. I actually enjoyed this tournament a lot. I think that it's kind of interesting when it gets all muddy like this, and we got a little bit of rain on Sunday, and I think that always kind of makes it a little bit more interesting. So I kind of like it when it rains. It just kind of makes things a little more funny. Notes. There we go. And this, I haven't actually, well, I did watch this, but I forget what happened in this. I didn't re-watch this today or anything, so I don't really remember what happens in this match. But this is literally the entire match. We're not going to sit here and watch the whole thing. But I would love to. We're going to... Nope, that's not what I wanted to do. What am I doing? I forgot I moved something, and I can't find it ever. Let's see if we pause it and go back to this because someone did a super chat. Porter, I appreciate the super chats so goddamn much. Much love from Texas. Hello from Texas. Yep. Thank you, sir. NXL Chicago. So what's kind of cool about, what's kind of crazy about this year is we've seen two teams do really well. We've seen Dynasty and Tampa Bay Damage. Dynasty's won 2 tournaments, and then Tampa Bay Damage has actually won the last 2. And Damage has always been one of those, like, you know, really high-end, like, top teams. But it's been a very long time, I think, since they've won 2 tournaments. Like, a very long time. I don't know. Maybe it's never happened. I don't know. But it's always cool to see Damage doing well. I always like Damage. I'm a fan of these teams that are kind of homegrown teams, like Tampa Bay Damage. You know, a lot of those players, really, except for one, probably in Rainey Stanczak right there, have been on the team forever. I mean, you got the Edwards brothers. You have Brian Smith played a lot in this. There's Jacob Edwards, I said his name. Who else we got? We got Keith Brown has been on that team a lot. So I always just like when these teams that aren't, you know, Houston Heat or Impact, where they just like grab as many good players as they can, and they just continue forever. You know, we've seen Dynasty like that. Lots of teams, right? Nah, maybe not a lot. Like about half of the pro teams are like that. And I just like that. Dan Holiday in the chat, I was looking for you at this tournament. I saw you on the roster. That Dan Holiday is one of those guys that was with Tampa Bay Damage forever as well. But not this tournament. I was like wondering why. I know that like we're getting older and life happens, so that's kind of what I assume. But he says Damage won 3 in a row in 2011. That sounds about right. It was like Justin Rabikoff and like Dave Baines on the team at the time. I want to say maybe something like that. But I just like it when these teams that are all homegrown buddies or whatever. I don't know. Are playing well. We're gonna skip forward a little bit.
The finals MVP too, but
Let's just watch this last point, and then we'll kind of switch off.
Because you got to watch both teams at once.
I've watched every single point.
That's right. Chad Boucher was not there either. Chad Boucher. I always say Chad Boucher, and I'm like, is that Chad Boucher? And I don't. Chad Boucher.
Ronnie gets shot. No man's land.
This could be curtains.
Yeah. I think this is it.
Yeah, this might be the common nail, as we say, with a minute and 41 seconds left to go. And Tampa Bay with a 2-point lead here.
And you can find all these, over at gosports.com. And you say that also watching it not live, the quality is way better. I mean, it just looks so much better not live. So if for some reason you don't like that quality or want to see better quality, if you're a Go Sports subscriber, you can
5-on-2.
Watch this better quality.
A little kill here on Rainey, so yeah, Tyler
Keith Brown was actually the MVP of this event,
He just is ready for that.
which is fair. I think that this is a very snake-heavy side field. You got that typical classic ladder style snake, and most of the time the MVP is going to be the guy that probably shoots the most people in the tournament, or maybe has the biggest points in the finals or something. And being this dominant snake side Damage, winning the tournament, and Keith playing really well on that snake side, it's kind of not surprising that he whatever won the MVP. Was it? Yeah, MVP, the most valuable person.
Yeah, it's well, they're down by 2. The Cardinals' sin is being down by 1 and being alive when time expires. I don't think Connor's head checked on the clock in a bit, so I don't think he knows.
Man, who watched this? Who watched the whole tournament? What was that one match where it went to it was 1-0 on Sunday, and the last point was 9 minutes long. It was just crazy.
Explodes here, triumphant yet again. 2 events in a row, and it didn't even need to be that dramatic. Connor Kelly and Jacob Evers going to give a nice little sportsmanship hug as we cut to the pits. Let's listen in real quick here with Tampa Bay. Triumphant 2 events in a row. It's going to make World Cup really
2 in a row.
Here.
Without Chad Boucher also.
He was MVP at the last event.
Yeah, shout out to Chad. We missed him.
That's right. Although I think Jacob probably should have been the MVP.
Yeah, so
congrats to Damage.
Yeah, Dynasty dominant in the beginning of the year. A first, a third, and then getting knocked out in the quarterfinals.
Not Impact though.
Or sorry,
Damage
semifinals against Houston.
Winning a paintball tournament. What are you guys seeing in this chat room? The most vicious player. That's pretty good. Dan Holiday, Shot Theory. When we play scenario games, Tampa Bay Damage, we play as a team called the Buddy Squad. That's pretty good. All of us within 30 minutes of each other and have been friends since we were in our teens. I've known Jacob since when he was 8. That sounds right. Jacob's been pro since he was 10. That's funny. Someone said, how can we get homegrown buddies team? Way better name than Damage or Impact. Probably the best paintball team, I think, is a Division 3 team or Division 2 team, and their team name is Shut Up We're Trying. It's so good. And they're actually pretty good. But Shut Up We're Trying is so good. I think it's funny. I think it's great. Was that the Impact against NYX maybe? I'm not sure. I know that they were doing it, and it was to they could both go to the finals if they could do it. Definitely Impact. I remember it was Impact and somebody else. No kittens. I don't want a kitten. Sorry, Mark. Saul. Damage looked in complete control of the whole event. They stayed calm in the pits, even the VIP area during the other matches. They just seemed very confident. Yeah, they should be. Yep. Impact and X Factor was that very, very slow one. Juan Cortez Santiago. Do you prefer traditional ladder snakes or the unconventional snakes from last season? You know, I think that there's two things there. I think that maybe playing those more unconventional style layouts or unconventional snakes or whatever that are like, you know, all broken up and crazy shaped. I think that I prefer it playing it, right? I think that playing those fields are a little bit more fun because you can like get into weird positions and you can get funnier shots. You can get more interesting shots. But I think that maybe watching the tournament, you know, if you're just watching it on the webcast or whatever, I do think that like the traditional ladder snake might be a little bit more interesting. Mainly because you can just, you know, watching it, you can, not you, watching it, you know, it's just a little bit more exciting, I think, because the players, you know, are just charging down the snake and getting 4 packs and shooting 5 guys and stuff. So I think that watching it might be a little more interesting. But I think I prefer to play those fields that are a little bit crazier, that are not always that ladder snake like that, that are just, you know, a little bit funnier shaped. They just seem a little bit more fun to me, so we'll see. We'll see. Yeah. So this might take me a minute. Not take me a minute. I have a lot of notes on this next segment, so you know, a lot of the tournaments I like to try to watch as many of the matches I can, and then do some highlights from everything that, like, you know, at least the highlights that I thought were cool from the weekend. Unfortunately, though, it's a little bit hard to watch literally every single match. You know, I, for the most part, have them on in the background, but I don't. You know, I'm not watching every single moment. So there's definitely like some highlight stuff. I just realized I didn't set this up. Hold on. I think I can set it up real fast. What if I just drag? What if I make a folder real fast? And just whatever. And then drag all of these here. That was a lot of commotion. Okay. Bear with me. Okay. So these are a bunch of highlights from said paintball tournament, and they're kind of going to go in order. Friday through Sunday. Bear with me again. Okay, I'm gonna put my headphones on so I can hear them a little bit, so I actually know what the heck's going on. And let's go.
Now he knows the snake is hot.
He knows
With
now.
number 1.
He doesn't know where he is,
Trying to
though.
figure out where he is. It's oh boy.
Oh, nice tactical retreat from Karslev, but I think Karslev
Oh,
did
just
not
remembered
get-
this is gonna be a
Yeah,
nightmare.
Yukon
Okay, so we're just gonna
3
start this over right now. So this is highlight number 1. This is going to be San Diego Aftermath versus, I almost said Boston Red Legion, but they're not Boston Red Legion. It's definitely, I'm going to put myself right there. It's definitely just Red Legion. They totally dropped that Moscow thing because that whole war there, they like, you know, launched over there in the Ukraine. The upper people didn't like it. So, I don't know. I just think this is kind of funny. We were talking about this ladder style snake, and one of the things that I really like about these layouts right now
He doesn't know where he
is that they're a lot different. Like,
Oh boy.
you can see how that pin perfectly blocked out Sergey at that center 50.
Yeah, if he'd gone,
And then he's just standing there. Like, they don't even know he's there. He's just like, dude. I just think it's kind of funny. Guy's not paying attention. And then finally, he gets that shot on him. What do we got? We got AC Dallas
gonna hit the
and
deck crawl
the
all the
Latin
way.
Saints.
You know what Mouse is going to do when he gets in the snake? He's going to go all the way down.
Man, this monitoring audio.
Did touch the bunker right there, though.
AC Dallas and the Latin Saints. And this is a highlight of Alex Goldman
Touch the bunker right there, though.
literally shooting almost the entire team. Blast that guy. Blast that guy.
One ball.
There's another 3-pack.
Blast that guy. But that's what I'm talking about, you know, being able to crawl all the way down that ladder snake. It's just kind of cool. It makes, I think, for better, probably for a little better viewing. But then again, you know, I don't know if I like playing
With
it
no
as
one snake corner and no
We
one
have another
snake
crazy
releases,
ladder move down that snake. Going all the way down to the other side. BJ Henningberg of AC Diesel literally shooting everyone.
Yeah, I mean, the Saints just have a zero answer.
The one thing we definitely saw, though, later on in the day, was that a lot of teams started to play this field quite a bit better. And were able to stop that snake move a little bit better. People weren't like going wide as much as they probably should have. So there were a lot of points early on in the day that a lot of people, you know, were just crawling all the way to the other side of the field and literally
Can I call a
everybody.
timeout for Houston Heat right now and make a change of players?
It's pretty
I want
crazy.
Chad in there.
What do we got?
Well, I mean, they don't have
Houston
no one slow
Heat.
on that team. Oh, look at this. Moorhead hits the deck. And then he's gonna
Houston Heat and the Brooklyn Bears. So this is, we're going to rewind that again. Houston Heat and the Brooklyn Bears. And you can see that score up there is tied, and there's barely any time left. I want to say that this is probably the fastest completed point of the entire freaking tournament.
Oh, look at this. Moorhead hits the deck. And then
I don't know what he meant by Moorhead hits the deck.
Blazing through here, Tyler Harmon on the stack attack. No one has put a gun on Constantine Farrell. He goes all the way through. It does look like they are going to get it here. There's still 14 seconds left. So Houston Heat does it yet again. Is Tyler clean? He is thumbs up. So beautiful job. Constantine Farrell and Tyler Harmon. Constantine Farrell, the first to go drawing the guns. It didn't even look like they shot until he almost got
Run and gun.
Tyler untouched.
Tyler's so good. It's cool to see, like,
Constantine Farrell and Tyler Harmon.
I don't know, Tyler's just so good. Like,
drawing the guns.
I mean, he might be like the best player
we've got
that we currently have in the NXL. I mean, it's damn close. I feel like Tyler can play literally every position on that paintball field, whether it's, you know, first into the snake, back center, like first in the Dorito side. Like, he can literally do anything. Okay, we got number 5, Notorious versus Extreme.
And then also is a player in the corner wrapping. So what they need to do is, here we go, this move. Archie needs to get around this corner. This is the scary thing right here. But he saw him. Oh, got him in the pack.
Yep.
And
That was a really good shot. Should also say that, like, you can see that guy filling out to that snake corner, running over there right there. And Archie's able to just sneak a ball in right there. Bam.
Oh, got him in the pack.
Also shot the can.
And then Hennessy has to sacrifice.
Shoots another guy trying to run and bunker him.
Through all of that chaos.
That's 3. That's
Shoots that Dorito guy. Shoots that door guy. Game over. But that's one of those, you know, really early, maybe Sunday
Have a guy like
moves
Miner who still has
that we're
top
not
level
seeing
athleticism and is quick and small and can play all those spots
as
because he can
much.
just pop off, get right into the one position he needs to.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but again,
We got Dynasty,
it's not about your
Notorious.
snake package. What do you bring in as
This
a
was
player?
maybe not a top play of the tournament. Maybe the worst one.
He can just pop off, get right into the one position he needs
Because
to.
they started with, count 'em, 3 in the back center, a guy going to the god or the snake, guy going to the snake. We got a guy in the door, and then you got a guy in that tower over there on the Dorito side. That's too many guys. You're not supposed to start with that many guys. That's just too many guys.
What do you bring in as
And the ref's like, ha! Throwing the flag. You know, I find it kind of weird though that I mean we don't typically have these problems, you know, of teams starting with too many players. So it's not like we're seeing it a lot. But I'm kind of surprised that the referees don't count the players at the start gate before the game ends, because I feel like it took a minute for the ref to see it. Like, I don't even think they should have started that point. I think it'd have been like, bah, and you should have thrown that flag. I mean, it's not like it took him that long, but maybe a little bit longer than...
This is his first tournament with his new team.
I don't know.
Get a shot
Then it should have.
as well.
All right, what's this? We got
Looking good here. Snake side right now
AC
for the
Dallas and the
Hurricanes.
Hurricanes. And this is a really good run through by Kyle Spica.
Looks like Kyle's gonna make it happen. 20 seconds. And he unlocks it.
Another one of those really close points.
Let's see if it's clean. Doesn't look like any ref's going to throw a penalty.
You know, it's probably not the greatest move of the tournament, but maybe one of the more important ones. It's 2-3 only with 25 seconds left now. Spica's able to get up there and to break that cross.
And he unlocks it.
Thankfully, the guys were kind of both looking the other way, and he didn't get shot by that first guy.
Are they going to get there in time?
Boom!
Looks like Nico Hyde
They make
can hit the
AC Dallas, they've been doing better though. I mean, AC Dallas have not been probably living up to their potential that they would like
hard to
to
tell them now.
you know
The
be
same
playing
and
at,
headgear.
but doing far better than they had. I just thought this was kind of funny. Another one of those things that might not be top play.
And so finally, Joe, after doing some work over there, but body's dying around him. Nice play by Dizon. Good play by
Bam!
Joe, but it is Chad Boucher and San Mondale.
The 360 dunk.
Point here for Houston Heat to take a slight lead with
Taking a slight
guns on you, you
lead.
gotta just absorb.
They get squirrely sometimes, right?
Now we
All
got
on
we have Notorious in the ML Kings.
Oh, and he makes a shot.
And it's kind of cool as well to see another veteran on this team playing for Notorious. Mike Alcovar, long-time San Antonio X Factor player, playing for Notorious against the ML Kings right here.
They get squirrely sometimes, right?
They're all on me.
They're all on me. Are they really?
Oh, and he makes a shot.
Ooh, so Donaldson.
Let's go back. I was
They're all on me. Are they really?
Oh, and he makes
That's
a
really
shot.
good.
So Donaldson tried.
You know, the hard part about that is that, like, you know, you can see how that Snake 3 bunker, that mini like wedge right there in the center, it sticks out a little bit further than those other little, you know, those mini small cakes or whatever, snake bunkles. So you actually have to run a little bit wide to be able to, you know, run around that bunker. And that's how Michael's able to get that shot on him. You can see he's a little bit wider than he maybe should be if that wedge is not there. And he's able to get that shot.
Ooh, so Donaldson tries to run down Kovar, but not able to do it. They're going to refill the snake.
Shoots down tape and let him know where he is. Ooh, Kovar gets a shot on the center wing as well.
Where is he, Mike?
So
I
that
forgot, where is he,
5-3
Mike?
into a
So this was just really good. I really like this. We're going to go back.
Kovar gets a shot on the center wing as well. So that turns a 5-on-3 into a...
Ooh, but Clay gets run down by Kovar. Kovar's balling out right now. Yeah,
Such a good move. I really like that going to the inside
Shoot
thing.
the Dorito now.
Ooh, this is on the list here.
Is that a 5-pack, man?
That might.
No.
Unfortunately, he ended up trading out, but there are
That's a
plenty
4-pack
of his
for-
guys
for,
still alive
Kovar.
Just as I thought it was going to
Make guns on you, you gotta
to
just
finish
absorb.
that
They
off.
get squirrely sometimes,
to the
right?
snake. A little bit better field position for Adams. As he gets
We
to the
have
snake, too, for
Baltimore
Revo.
Revo
Yeah.
Gaudin, though, taking the advantage and going all the way
versus
down. Probably going to
Baltimore Revo
that.
and
Nice
Impact.
shot there for Ashley
And this was one of those games where it was a little bit rainy outside. Maybe this was actually on a Saturday when it was a little rainy.
You might not be able to see the screens as well, but you can see those huge.
It's definitely raining.
Long puffs of smoke coming over the tips of everyone's barrels.
So that was a great example, I think, of what needed to be done on.
Why did I like this? I think I just like the retreat. I think I'm a fan of that
Taking
retreating.
the advantage and going all the way
I really
down.
like going down there and bunkering that guy, shoving that barrel right in his
Nice
ass,
shot there where Ashley crawled all the way down.
shooting
Heard the
again,
gun,
and then
saw
he's
the
like,
puff of smoke, too, 'cause,
I'm gonna fill
when
back.
you're in this situation, you can
because there's maybe not a lot to shoot out from that snake bunker. So maybe getting a little bit of a retreat is maybe a good
It gives
idea.
that snake player a little bit of an advantage.
Now we
because you don't
have
know where he's gonna pop
X
up,
Factor
because
and
that wedge blocks out
Extreme.
so much of the snake from that snake.
I also like Extreme. They're one of those teams that yeah, it's just like a newer team and doing very, very well. Here on Sunday against X Factor.
DJ Danner coming off from San Antonio. X Factor from that D side. Billy's going to run the highway. He stitches up Jerry and takes the spot and stays alive. Beautiful job by Billy Bernaccia.
Wow, what a great move by Billy.
Love the dive back over that snake. So cool. I always like being able to do that. I mean, so many people like try to bunker people and then they don't have a plan afterwards. You got to have a plan afterwards. You know, maybe you don't live, maybe you do, but at least have some sort of idea where you're gonna go after it's all said and done.
All right, let's see some bloody knuckles here.
Yeah.
I got a lot going on. Sorry, well, I got all crazy right there. Okay, there we go.
All right, let's see some bloody knuckles here.
Yes.
Another close game with only a little bit of time left.
And not able to get Billy out wide, so there's one kill. And they get Carl into the snake, getting chased by the ref. And he's hit. No penalty assessed, though. Ref thought about it.
Yeah, he was great.
Also like to say, you know, Jerry Caro's very good, very athletic. He's one of the faster players in the league. And it's good to see Jerry doing well. Jerry played for the Ironmen for a bit of time. I don't remember who else. But he's doing a very good job, and they did a really great job over on this snake side this tournament.
Here comes Corey Hall with a nice slide.
Corey Hall did very well, too.
Fully commit onto X Factor side, but still 4 bodies to shoot. Corey Hall wraps around, gets the back center.
That's such a good shot right there.
And he's going to fully commit onto X Factor side, but still 4 bodies.
I mean, that's knowing exactly where people are going to be.
He's going to get another kill. Corey Hall's going to do it again here. Can New York Extreme tie this one up? Corey Hall's got himself a 3-pack. He gets all the way into the backfield. They have 8
oh yeah,
seconds
this
in.
is so sad. So like, watch this. Like,
Can New York Extreme
all
tie this
kinds of
one up?
time
Corey Hall's
left,
got
right?
himself
All
a
kinds of
3-pack.
time. He gets to that
all the way into the
corner.
backfield. They have 8
Dude's
seconds.
wide open. Just Colt. I think that's Colt right there in that brick, wide in the open. We got 8 seconds left. So it's like there's some time left, but you really got to get this done. And just straight up runs out of paint right next to him. He's the last guy left. That Dorito guy over there shot. It should work out, right? You're on their side of the field. You're literally in their corner. But you're running out of paint. And then it's just like,
There's one more body to
so
shoot.
awful.
And then Taylor's going to come through. He runs out of bounds.
Gets
and Corey
shot.
Hall
3
with
seconds,
2 seconds. He's going to have to send it. I don't think he made it.
I don't think he got it. I don't think
Corey
he got it. Oh my goodness.
Oh,
Great move by
So
Corey
sad.
too.
It's
close as
heartbreaking.
it gets here for Corey Hall, still on the ground with the full
Could have
commitment,
sent him
a
to
3-pack,
overtime.
and Jesus, that was
I
one of the
believe
best
this was
moves
the
we've seen out here to try to
semifinals.
close the game. He definitely sacrificed
No,
his
it
body.
wasn't.
Might
This
have
was
knocked the
the
wind out of himself as he
quarterfinals?
went
It must
chest
have
down
been.
to the ground after diving for that buzzer.
It's just sad. It's heartbreaking.
And the body advantage.
And
Shear
we've
trying to make
got-
something happen over there. Shear's going through untouched.
Oh, I just like this creeping. I really like this creep with Dynasty and Red Legion. We got one more little thing we can watch. And this is going to be the last of the highlights I have. I just like this creeping. I really like, we don't see, you know, in the Pro Division, everybody's so good at shooting and knows the lanes, and everyone's just so good that normally these moves are made really fast. So you don't really see a lot of this creeping. And I really like this just like slow play
Push forward on that D
by
side,
Chris
even
Shear.
with the lead and the body advantage. As Shear trying to make something happen over there. Shear's going through untouched, not feeling any pressure, trying to find that angle.
Just
And then
walking down the
realizes, Okay,
field.
Snake side's not looking inside. I'm gonna try to drop the hammer here.
And
Here comes Shear.
What a
Bam.
great move.
Bam.
Shear.
And I don't know if he got 3 of those guys. I don't know if he shot the corner. It's Bridnikov there in the corner. I'm not 100% sure if he shot that corner or not.
And
Yeah,
here
it looks
comes
like
Shear.
it. He shot him right in the butt.
Try to drop the hammer here.
Boom! Right in the
And here
booty.
Comes Shear.
What a great move.
Chris Shear.
Great move.
That was a very pretty little run through here for Chris Shear.
Just
It's getting jiggy.
creeping and crawling. And this is the end of the semi-pro. This is the semi-pro finals, and I thought we'd talk about it for just a second here. So the semi-pro finals, or the semi-pro division, are essentially dominated by two teams, Paintball Fit and Blast Camp. And this is the fourth tournament in a row that Paintball Fit's won. They've gotten first in all four of the tournaments this year. And then, sadly and heartbreakingly, Blast Camp has gotten second 4 times in a row to Paintball Fit. So it's going to be really interesting to see if either of these teams can kind of play the same way, or maybe Blast Camp can play better at World Cup. It'd be really cool if Blast Camp could beat Paintball Fit, but I do think that we're probably going to see Paintball Fit in that pro division. At least they're going to be offered that pro division spot, and then we'll probably see the Latin Saints going down to the semi-pro division. But I don't even know if they're going to play semi-pro. I'm not entirely sure. They could completely quit.
And Paintball Fit keeps prevailing because
I like this end of this match. Colt gives the crowd what they want in the end of this.
I would like to see them show up on a weekend and not play points. Just play situational awareness.
Set up the 1v1.
Set up the.
We're gonna let this play a little bit.
2 versus 4s, 3 versus 2s. Do 1-on-1s. Just gunfight. I want to see you guys gunfight until everyone's knuckles are bleeding, because that's what you need. If you want to beat Paintball Fit, you need to out gunfight those guys, and you are not better gunfighters than them right now. You may be better at making moves, but that's not how you win tournaments. You gotta win. You gotta win gunfights. So congratulations, doing Mud Angels out there.
Oh my God.
Colt Lukow.
So if I've done the math correctly, this is a bigger win than they may even realize, because even if.
And those are your NXL highlights. NXL highlights. I don't know if people find those that interesting. It may be interesting because I just random and blibber blabber for a long time. But it's cool to see, Blast Camp just getting second. I was not going to say Blast Camp. It's not cool to see them get second, but it's cool to see like a Paintball Fit team be so dominant. It's kind of fun. Mark says, New Orleans Hurricanes is my new fave pro team. Yeah, I think I like Extreme. I like Extreme. Show the end of the Heat Dynasty Sunday. I can't really. The ending, say I didn't watch, maybe I didn't watch that one, or maybe, I don't know, it's a little hard to just show it. I mean, it's like, I got to go through and like, every one of the, one day is a 10-hour or like 10 or 9 hours, so you got to like skip through it a lot. It's a nightmare. But again, I didn't really watch every single moment, so I didn't get to see every single point. I think next time I want to do like the worst moves of the tournament or something like that. That's probably a little bit more interesting. Such a sad moment. Yep, 1 second left. It really was heartbreaking. And it's different when you're running and you just missed the buzzer, kind of like you did. But running out of paint and having to reload and wait, it's man, it's just it's just heartbreaking. They honestly should have moved Fit up halfway through the season and moved the Saints down. Probably. I mean, Paintball Fit is miles better than the Latin Saints, so miles better. Let's answer Isaiah's paintball gun question. Geo4 or M3 Plus Red Legion Edition? I've been using a Geo4 for about a month now, and I got a good deal on an M3 Plus. Which is better to use? I'd prefer the Geo. I think that they're just more reliable, I think that they're better quality, resale value is better. I think lots of things better about them, but yeah. Kind of like Ben said, he said, if you really want a die gun, I'd say DSR Plus with the IM, the Ironman kit, over the M3 Plus. I agree. I think that the DSR feels ergonomically better, and I actually like the way it shoots. So I think that I prefer the way that I just prefer that the way the DSR Plus shoots a little bit. Joey. So we also, I thought about doing this. I set this all up, and let's go here. We're going to do this. One of the best ways people can help support this channel, if anyone likes these videos, paintball is not the biggest industry, so it's not like I'm getting rich making YouTube videos. So any support, is greatly appreciated. So that means people commenting on videos, people liking videos, maybe just participating with the YouTube videos, whatever, or Instagram or whatever it is. One of the best ways, though, is probably buying merch. Paintball barrel covers, everyone needs a barrel cover, everyone needs a barrel condom. And I've got loads of them for sale. They're $7 a piece. You can find them at the Paintball Ruined My Life store or shop. You can go to paintballruinmylife.com or pbrml.com or .shop. There's a bunch of ways. But buying stuff, guys, it's so much appreciated. And it really does, help this thing go along. If I'm making $0, I definitely can't do this. So buy merch if you want to support this thing. But I really want to talk about NXL Paintball jerseys. I thought it'd be kind of fun to look through all of the jerseys and try and rank the best pro jerseys. There's some teams with, I think, some cool jerseys. And then there are some teams with some god-awful paintball jerseys. So we're going to go in reverse order, I think, of the actual team name. So we're going to start with New York Extreme. And I think that, one thing that I like in jerseys is I think that I like it when teams have special jerseys for the tournament. So maybe they designed a special one for, World Cup, or a special jersey on the Chicago layout or the Chicago tournament. And I also like it when teams kind of stay with their colors, right? Like New York Extreme kind of has that aqua, teal, cyan color, kind of that color right there of this Paintball Ruin My Life hat. It's about like that. So I kind of like it when this team stick with these colors. New York Extremes jerseys I like a lot. I really like how they have the New York logo, like the New York Yankees logo. And I just think they look good. I really like that big, huge block. I have to click something. I really like that big, huge, block style letter they have on their jerseys. But this is the first one we're going to put up here. So we're just going to put, I think, them into A-tier jerseys. And I might switch this around a little bit. We have X Factor, and I should say one thing I don't like with colors in jerseys is I really don't like it when people match too much. Like we've got X Factor with their matching jerseys and matching pants. It's just too much for me. Their jerseys are kind of boring. You can't really see that huge extreme logo as much. I mean, we know it's X Factor because their logo, but it's, good and bad. It's whatever. It's, it's a paintball jersey. X Factor, B tier. Yeah. Someone said something about, hey, Brad, will you be at CPL tomorrow? Not tomorrow. Tomorrow? Is it Friday, too? I'll be there on Saturday for sure. The Capital Edge Paintball League. Okay. Uprising. Uprising is a team that I use as an example of how not to design paintball jerseys. Look at it. It's just like a black shirt with their logo on the front. And I really don't like the backs. I really don't like how the letters are black and dark. It makes them very difficult to see. I know that one of the reasons they do this and they like doing it is because they want everyone to look the same. So you can't really tell who is who. So from the other side of the field, you don't really know which players are over there, which might be good for the actual tournaments, but I don't really think it's good for the team, right? Because you know, a player does a good move and I have no idea who they are. So I don't like their jerseys. And that's why I'm looking for the logo. Uprising, we're just going right to the bottom. Like, they're just terrible. Sorry, guys. I love Uprising. I wish that, you know, Uprising would, you know, it's one of those homegrown teams. It's got all, like, their old school guys. You have Graham Arnold right there. I don't know who that guy is. I think that's Graham Arnold again. You got the Borromeos. You have the Ormrods. So I like how it's been the same guys forever, but those jerseys are just god-awful. And the Saints also sticking with their team colors, but I don't like the sleeves. It's got like barbed wire and stuff. I don't like the barbed wire. You know, it reminds me of like 2002 or something. I'm not a fan of the barbed wire, and it just looks really messy. There's too much like going on. But they're not like terrible. I kind of like the gray, but at the same time, I really don't like white paintball jerseys. They don't make all that much sense to me. We're going C tier because I don't like them. They're a little bit too crazy for me. The Saints, Revo's kind of had the same jerseys forever. I feel like they have never changed their jerseys. But again, you definitely know it's Baltimore Revo. I like the purple, and I should say some of these teams actually had multiple jerseys for Friday. Or no, I should say, yeah, for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Or just some jerseys. Uprising jerseys are straight up flea market airbrushed. That would be way cooler, actually. If you had like Cholo style, like airbrushing. That would be cool. But Revo's jerseys I like and don't like. They're simple, which I kind of like, you know, but I kind of don't like that at the same time. You know, I don't want to go Uprising simple, but they're better than the Saints jerseys. The Saints jerseys, they're just kind of wild. They're a little bit too crazy for me. Where the hell's the Revo logo? B tier Revo. Red Legion jerseys are Red Legion jerseys. They're what you would expect from them. But again, too much matching on some of these guys, you know, like, that's the best paintball player ever to live. Probably. No, he's not. That's not who I thought that was. I don't know who the hell that was. That was not Brindikov. I don't know who that is. Red Legion jerseys, yeah, they're okay. They're not terrible. They're kind of a classic paintball jersey. Yeah, we're going B tier. I haven't thought about this at all, so this is kind of winging it. NRG Elite. NRG are also one of those teams that do have colors, right? They have their, like, you know, bright green color that they use sometimes in their jerseys. This time sticking with all black. One thing I kind of like is how they put, like, their country logos on it. I like how he has the Guppy has the Canadian flag right there. Is kind of cool. But then again, I mean, they kind of have that same problem that Uprising has. It's just kind of all black. And you can only tell who they are from really close. At least they have big numbers that are legible on their back. Which I guess puts them above probably... who the hell am I looking at? NRG. It's hard to see the logos on this. Here you go. Here's the NRG colors. You know, I think I'm going to put them in that C tier. They're a tick above Uprising. Notorious. And we have white jerseys. Someone said earlier that they really liked the Notorious jerseys. I don't like those white ones. They busted out the blue ones, though. The blue ones I like quite a bit. I think that blue and that black look pretty good together. I actually really like the black and blue jerseys. The white, I don't know. Like, I like that. I kind of wish the Notorious was done. Their logo was a little bit more white. I think they just should have used that white logo probably on those black jerseys, so you could have seen that logo a little better. I think that I would give these black jerseys, do I put those things into A tier? Maybe peeking toward the S tier. But those white ones, I don't know. I'm kind of on and off about them. So we're just going B. The ML Kings, I hate the goddamn ML Kings jerseys. They're awful looking. I mean, I like how they've kind of stuck with that burgundy color that they've had for a very long time, but it's kind of gross looking, right? And they put some, like, burgundy and kind of like brown together, and like maybe that reminds you of like Europe somehow, but I don't like these either. I think that the NL Kings could probably do something a little better with them while keeping their, team colors and not going, keeping their colors, but not making them look so like brown or something. So I don't know. NL Kings, a level. I know you guys are talking in this chat over here, but if I start talking in the chat, I'm going to get all sidetracked. Level, I like the level jerseys. I really like the colors. I like how they have that like Rasta kind of different colored sleeves. And I think that level may have had 2 jerseys. I tried to do my best and get all the jerseys in this thing, but level, they are kind of boring. It is kind of weird how the die logo is so big. I know they're probably getting paid or at least free hoppers to put that on there. But I do like the colors. I just kind of wish that the level logo was maybe a little bit more prominent rather than having, the die logo huge in the chest. So we're going B tier again. I mean, I don't even know if we're going to get someone to S tier. We probably will. You got the Ironmen. The Ironmen have a very good jersey, actually, I like. They're really simple, and they do have a huge die logo on their chests and all the way down the sleeves. But I think the Ironmen in this case are a little bit different. We kind of know the Ironmen as Dye's factory team, right? They're only going to use dye products. They have dye guns and hoppers and masks. They're probably not using dye tanks. They're using all dye stuff. So I don't really fault them maybe for having that huge freaking dye logo across the chest. And I really like those ones. I think I like the black ones the most, but they did have 2 different versions. And we're going up there. I like how they have mostly black pants on. A tier. They're in the A tier, but they're definitely not in the A tier as far as the rankings go. I think the Ironmen are 19th place. Los Angeles Infamous. Infamous are always looking good. They always have fresh kit on. You got Russellback, Tim Russellback. Russellback? It's Russellback, or is it Brussel? I get that mixed up. You got Tim again right there, and you had Nate Schrader. I like the Infamous jerseys. I really like how they say Infamous all the way down the arm. That's pretty cool. They had 2 different versions. One of the things I don't like and I don't quite understand is how they can have that color, though. I know that the NXL has specific colors they don't allow because it's the same color as the paint. But it's so close to that green that it would just be kind of annoying as a referee because there's that bright green and bright greenish yellow all over the place. But I like the Infamous jerseys. You can see their logo huge on them. They're unique. Callie Rudolph, I'm pretty sure designs all those. S tier? I'm going to go in A tier again. Maybe we're not going to get an S tier. I know 2 jerseys that I really like, and I think they're coming up. Impact's just goddamn boring. They look like HK Army jerseys, right? They just look like HK designed them, which is fine. I mean, HK's not terrible, but the Impact jerseys are kind of boring, and they've had 2 different versions. They have 2 different versions at this tournament, at least, but I couldn't really get good shots of the other one. Are they never any good, still images I couldn't find? I don't know. Impacto. I kind of want to put them here in the B tier again. Yep, they're kind of boring. And the Hurricanes. The Hurricanes also going with their traditional kind of colors. They've got that, light blue and white going on. I hate the white jerseys. I just don't like the white jerseys. I just don't like white jerseys. I mean, it's just something about white jerseys. They might look cool while they're being designed. Wait a minute. Why do I have the Hurricanes logo up here already? Did I screw this up? I did. I meant to put that right there. Sorry, Notorious. Hurricanes. Yeah, I just don't like the freaking white. It's just so goddamn white. One of the problems with like, white jerseys is, we're putting it there. One of the problems with white jerseys is like, if you're heads up playing with a guy, it's not a big deal, right? But one of the issues is that like, you can be playing shooting this way, and like a guy way over here out of the corner of your eye, you can like see him because he's got this huge white jersey on. It's just like a flash, and you can see them so much easier than you can these dark jerseys. So it's not, it's not up to me really. It doesn't really affect me if they have white jerseys on, so who cares? But I just don't really like it that much. We have Houston Heat. Houston Heat with their like kind of classic jersey. This isn't really any departure from things they've worn in the past. They got those America colors going. You got the Texas Star, maybe. I don't know what they call that. That star from Texas. You got Ryan Moorhead looking really like he's got to take a shit or something. He's like, God, this is going to be over soon, guys. I got to go. Houston Heat, I don't know. B tier. They're just kind of boring. It's the same thing. And San Diego Dynasty, talking about the same thing. The boys in blue going with a jersey that looks like it's from 2001, which I like. I kind of like how they've gone to like that throwback stuff, how it's looking kind of vintagey. But again, we've something we've seen before. It's not too exciting. And yeah, I actually like, I was saying earlier how like lots of teams have different jerseys, how like, I don't know. Impact had different jerseys, and Infamous had some different jerseys. The Ironman had different jerseys, like different types or styles for the tournament. And I kind of like that, and I kind of don't. I think that, as a branding perspective or as like a team, I think that going with the same jersey throughout the tournament makes people easily identifiable, and you know what team it is. Kind of like how Dynasty has always had blue, or the Ironmen are always red. It's kind of weird when teams mix it up a little bit. But we've seen this Dynasty jersey before, and I gotta go freaking B tier again. We can't put that in the A category because it's like the same. AC Diesel. We have AC Diesel, which is, a jersey that looks very much similar to Uprising or NRG Elite. It's very dark. You can't really see it, which is good for actually playing paintball. But it's kind of boring. It doesn't look as cool on camera. I like how you can tell it's AC Diesel real easy, though. The logo's pretty clear. The numbers and names on the back are pretty clear. AC Diesel C tier. Better than Uprising's jersey, that's for damn sure. And then we have Damage. Damage, another team that is really always blue. I mean, they've always been blue for the most part. I think for a minute there, they were red. They also have two jerseys, which you can see there. They have that darker version right there, and then there's a bluer version. And I was curious, I couldn't really figure this out. I know that it says something down the right side of the body, right? So like you can see right above the Damage thing, there's like a Y, and I swear it says like Friday or Saturday or Sunday. So they might have different jerseys for every single one of those days. Maybe Shot Theory, if Dan Holiday is still in the chat, maybe he can tell you guys maybe. But I really like the Damage jerseys. I think that they're unique. They're unique. I kind of like the split side. I'm a huge fan of the big numbers on the front. I like that so much. Dynasty did that a handful of years ago at tournaments, and I loved those jerseys. I think those were some of the best jerseys ever. Were the Dynasty jerseys, where they had like huge like football hockey number or something on, not football. Do they put numbers on football jerseys? No. Or hockey. I don't know. But I really like that huge number on the front. So I'm a fan of these. My only problem, I don't like the skulls. I'm not a fan of the skull. I had a paintball jersey. I was on a team for a while, and we had like skulls on our jerseys, and I just find it kind of cheesy. Although it's a little bit hard to tell it's skulls. You can only kind of tell they're skulls from close. Damage, I really want to say Damage is S tier. If they were not skulls on those jerseys, if they were something else, I'd probably put it at S tier. the Bears. Brooklyn Bears, 2 jersey styles. You can see that they had the darker one and the white one. Again, I don't like the white, but this is probably the best jersey of the tournament. That blue Brooklyn Bears with the Chicago Bulls. No, the Chicago Bears colors. After I just said that I like when teams use the same colors. I really like these like one-off event jerseys. I think they're really cool as like collector thing for people. And it's just unique. So I'm all about it. Bears, you're getting S tier. It's fun. I think it's fun. I really like how it's unique. We're going Bears in the S tier. San Diego Aftermath. This is the last paintball team. Aftermath also have a kind of a cool jersey. I really like. They're kind of going for, I think, the Bulls, the Chicago Bulls. You can kind of see how they have what maybe kind of looks like a basketball jersey. From the back, it kind of looks like a basketball jersey. And that guy's name's Jordan, which is interesting. But they're kind of basic. They're not super exciting. Aftermath, I don't know. I don't really like the fade on the sleeve and the fade on the body. Kind of boring. We're going B tier. Those are all your pro paintball jerseys from the National X-Ball League in Chicago. This took forever to set up. I don't know. I hope people liked it. Maybe we'll try it again, World Cup or something. I don't know. Just rate people's jerseys. Maybe we'll do like the coolest looking paintball player. Who has the coolest ag style or something like that? But I think that those best jerseys are going to go to the Bears. A thing that I really liked too, they also had like a bunch of like casual wear stuff made for this. And they had some stuff that said the Bears on the back, which was really kind of cool. I really liked that. Your top paintball jerseys of the tournament. What's the chat doing? Huge numbers for identification is cool until players start wearing someone else's jersey. Yeah, that's true. I mean, it's really going to be a problem like next year if the NXL actually starts this gambling thing they keep talking about. The NXL is actually going to have to try to keep more statistics so we can actually have things to gamble on. So they're definitely not going to allow people to like switch jerseys and like all that kind of stuff that the NXL or that the teams might do now. Just because keeping track of stats is going to be very, very important. Brooklyn has to be S. They're the only one that was S. Yay, Tampa Bay. Someone said they really didn't like the damaged jerseys. I don't know. I liked them. I really like the color. They just look good. The color, like, scheme, I'm a fan of. Damage. Where's damage? Damage. See, those ones are kind of like whatever, but I really like that blue. The blue looks really good on that, like, darker gray or whatever. I think I like those ones the best. Those look really good. I don't know. I like them. But again, I don't like the skulls. Yeah, I'm not a fan of the skulls. Let's see. Bangs says he's rebuilding my old Ego 8 and getting back into the sport after a decades break. Started watching you recently to get up to speed and what's happening in the scene. Thanks for everything. Thanks for everything you put out. Yeah, of course. All I ask is you like the videos. Just do that. Do that for me. Yep. Okay. I don't know. I don't think we have anything else. I don't really have anything else like uber planned. I don't think I do anyway. Let's go back over here. Taking forever to load. Yeah, not really. We have the International Classic Paintball League is coming up next 2 weeks. Next weekend, September 28th through August 1st. And there are a lot of teams signed up for the ICPL. Let's do this. This is just a little bit of a like a trailer or something like that, we'll call that. For the ICPL. ICPL, the International Classic Paintball League, the biggest, we'll say 10-man league in the world. There are a load of teams. I think there were like 40 pro teams or something like that. That doesn't mean that they're necessarily professional. The ICPL only has 2 divisions. They kind of have an like amateur and a pro division. So you're either in the good division or you're playing the lower division. And there are a lot of teams. We definitely have like, you know, real professional teams. There's some, let's see. It's not all just like, you know, rando teams. Let's shrink that down. So what, like, there's a bunch of like, you know, we might not see like, so they have 24 professional teams. Saber Wolves, they're like a legit 10-man team. We got Infamous is probably the only team that's like signed up. It's a current pro team. But we definitely have some old guys from the All-Americans. We have Aftershock. We have Farside. Some Ground Zero teams. Cap Factory. And most of the time you're going to find like, you know, a lot of old pros or current pro guys on these rosters. And there is nobody on this Cap roster, so we're not going to look at that. How about an Aftershock roster? Eventually. Okay. Never mind. I don't know what's going on. ICPL's next weekend. One of the cool things about the ICPL, you can actually watch it. It's one of the only like big 10-man tournaments that we can actually watch. Go Sports actually puts it on their website. GoSports.com. I got distracted by something. One day I'll play on Cap. I don't think you will, Mark. You have to be best friends with Dave to be able to do that. Aftershock. I thought Aftershock for the win. Dan, I thought you said you were playing for Aftershock. That's why I was like, let's look at the Aftershock roster. Try and get some dinner tomorrow? Are you going to meet Mark? Probably. I don't know. Sure. I'm down. Just let me know. You can text me. You got my phone number. Right? Yeah, you got my phone number. Matt, what's up? I was thinking about Matt the other day. Matt, we haven't seen you in a long time. I haven't seen you at the paintball field. I hope you're good. I saw a picture of you and I was like, oh, Matt. Yeah, I'm down. Sure. Just text me tomorrow or something like that, or later tonight. Jake Dole! I'm pretty sure maybe that's not Jake. That's Jake. I just never call you Jacob. ICPL. I thought these were kind of funny. We'll play some of this real fast. I just think this is cool. This is there's a link to this in the description, and a link to this channel. But this is it's 1992. So this is Paintball 1992 in Australia, which is crazy, right? Like, I mean, I didn't think like Paintball went to Australia like that so fast. At, what is this? Splat Ball Village. Look at this. Isn't it awesome? The guy smoking a cigar and a cigarette, maybe. Look at those old... What were those masks called? The Whippersnapper. The JT Whippersnapper. I haven't actually watched this, so I don't even know what is going to happen. Alright, we get to some games. 1992. Like, I wish I had, like, more video of me playing paintball. in not 1992, you know, I was a little kid, but like 2001 or something like that. That would be awesome. Old ass paintball guns. What's the chat saying? Who played in 1992? Is there anybody in here that was actually playing paintball 30 years ago? 1992. Oh, look at this guy cleaning his barrel out with a straight shot squeegee. So funny. What is this guy wearing? It's like he's got like a shower cap on. They don't really sound that Australian. 1997? I know, Mark. I was 8. 8? Yeah, I was 8. Oh, there we go. Oh, whoa. Comp paintball. First time I played was in 1988. Pump at an indoor in New Jersey. That's kind of cool. That would be neat. 2 bits. 2-bit. 87 to 89. Dang. Jake, you're behind. Fast forward. It's just so funny. Look at how much, like, I mean, it's probably not even cold out. Maybe it's a little bit cold there, but look at how much, like, CO2 is, like, coming out the end of the guns. Look at how big that thing is, too. Look at it. Oh, it's cold for sure. You can see that guy's breath. But look at how much, like, CO2 is coming out of this gun when he shoots. Look at that. It's like a Civil War reenactment. Look at this. They're like shooting black powder or something. It's definitely cold though. You can like see his breath.
Oh, that hit.
It's just funny. It's so cool. Alright. Mark, I started playing in 2003. 2001, I think. Something like that. Paintball. I just didn't, I know paintball's oldish. People have been playing since like the early-ish 80s. But I didn't really think they were playing over in Australia in the 90s like that, which is crazy. I mean, now it's much more difficult to play in Australia because they have all these stupid laws about like, you have to get like a permit and like you have to have a gun safe and all this crazy shit to be able to own a paintball gun. It's just wild. It really don't make that much sense. Black powder paintball muskets. Pretty much. Super old. I played for the first time with a pump in 1995. That's pretty old. Pretty good. The Cali Mag. And Cali Mag were the balls that messed you up big time. I don't know. Ooh, I like the little cat in there. How about this? How about this emoji? What the hell is this? The problem with emojis is like they're so small, like you can't really see them. I always find myself like, what is that? Like sometimes it's so difficult to tell what stuff is. Like, what is this? Stupid. The Brass Eagle Cobra. I never had any Brass Eagle paintball guns. I had like a Piranha and like a Spider and stuff like that. Yeah. Because I actually went to a paintball store and bought my paintball stuff. A physical store that I actually ended up purchasing the store. Oh, Cat in the Box. I just hopped in and have no idea what the topic is, so Cat in the Box. Where there is no topic anymore, I'm just kind of winging it, hoping that someone says something in the chat to get me talking about something so we're interesting. Since we quit, we ran out of all my highlights. We watched some highlights. We talked about the NXL. Yep. I thought about buying a Project GLV2 yesterday. I saw an all gold one at the paintball store, and I was like, oh shit. Do I have to buy this goddamn thing? I mean, I already bought this. A gameplay video went up yesterday if you want to actually watch some CS3 mechanical gameplay footage. The video is not doing well. I don't know why. No one's clicking on it to watch it, so... No, we didn't talk about Halos, actually. I forgot. Yeah, isn't that ridiculous? How a lot of the teams that were using the JT Triad were using Halo 2's the tournament, and everyone was like, oh, that's because they're like prototype internals and like they're testing out a new hopper. And I'm like, I don't think so, guys. I just think the Triad is weird, and I don't know, maybe they didn't have enough hoppers ready for the tournament or something like that. They decided to go with the Halo. I know I was talking to someone yesterday, and they said that I don't know who did they say it was someone from Damage or someone from AC. Either someone from Damage or someone from AC Diesel was saying that they liked one of the things that they like about the Halo is just how fast it actually feeds. And which matters and doesn't matter, right? I mean, we don't need a huge high rate of fire anymore. You know, you don't need a hopper that can feed 20 balls a second. But one of the things we do kind of need is like that quick, like, burst of speed. Because if you're not shooting and you just go to shoot really fast, with some of these hoppers, honestly, like, if you have a Spire 4 like that in gold, it's really dusty. Look at that. Ooh. In gold, the Spire 4 is awesome. I mean, it's my favorite hopper, but it does have that problem sometimes of not feeding super fast right away. So you get that like that instant burst with the Halo, and it feeds instantaneously because Mike right there said, but you have that tension on the stack. I don't know what he means by that. But one of the good things, yeah, is it has all that tension on there. So soon as that paintball drops out, it's actually spring fed. So soon as that ball drops, even without the hopper knowing it should be feeding, it's going to push that ball in there, which the Spires or like the Control, the Sonic, you know, things like that can't do that. So they really liked that like instantaneous, super fast feeding, so that maybe like, you know, shooting, you know, snap shooting or something like that could be a little bit faster. But I don't know. I've never used like the Triad either, so I don't know if the Triad is like that. I don't remember what the interior of a Triad looks like. I know that I've seen it, and I think it's very similar to the Halo internally. But I don't know if it feeds like, you know, instantaneously. Shot Theory, this guy, he plays for Damage, he says, you know, or he used to. Exactly. It's how much pressure you get in the stack when you pull up off the board. So like, imagining like pulling up and shooting off the brake. I want to go into ramping as fast as possible, for sure, which we kind of see with like some of these hoppers that like if you pull up to shoot really fast, it's like and then it's not that dramatic, it's not that noticeable, but it definitely is like and then you start getting into ramp. It's just not as instantaneous. Whereas I think with the Halos, or other, maybe some hoppers like that, like the Rotor or something, they're a little bit more, they're quicker, right? So those first 2 or 3 paintballs aren't like instantaneously as fast, whereas like the Rotor or the Rotor, like a Halo 2, like the Z2, that Prophecy, we're a little bit quicker. Take it easy. Fine. Shit. Have a great night, guys. Hopefully, see you next week. I'll be here. That's for goddamn sure, Juan. The Triad is the GI Sports level loader. Is it really the exact same thing on the inside? I actually liked my level. I had no problems with the level. That doesn't make any sense. The Core GI, that company is just insane. Like, I really don't understand. Like, they keep making stuff, right? There was no problem. The Halo 2, the original Halo B, when it came out 25 years ago, obviously still is perfectly fine. You have, Damage just won the tournament with it, and you have other professional teams using it perfectly fine. It doesn't make any sense why they don't just, like, make a new Halo. You did it before, right? They did it with the Z2. I mean, the Z2 is like the newer version of the Halo, and it was a fine hopper. It fed fine. It was, fairly reliable. The shells were a little weird. The shells did have problems. But at this point, right, just make a Halo in a smaller package that we can disassemble easily. It's crazy that they, like, made the level, and that didn't do very well. And now they're trying to make the Triad, and that didn't do very well. Why don't we just, like, remake the Prophecy or remake the Halo into a body, into a, like, something that would, work easier? I mean, because that's one of the problems with the Z2 or that Prophecy is the shells were weird and they'd come apart kind of wacky. And the Halo, it's just not going to come apart. You have to get screwdrivers to take the goddamn thing apart. Whereas you have, hoppers like that Spire 4 that come apart instantaneously. They're so easy to take apart. It's just weird. Like, what are they doing over there? I don't know what the hell is going on over there. Most people, honestly, will not know the difference in the little small differences. Just like I would know the difference between a Tiger Woods golf clubs and a $100 set. You say you couldn't tell the difference between, like, pro golf clubs and cheap golf clubs. For sure. Yeah, for sure. David says the Indian reason on the Prophecy. You're right. David also said, it's a lazy monopoly of a company. I don't even know if they're a monopoly. Like, what are they monopolizing? I mean, they're one of the biggest companies. I mean, they probably, have a monopoly in paint, sorta, but not really. You got so many other paint companies. I mean, you have HK making paint. You got the Defy stuff. You have Infamous making paint now. You have whatever. There's all kinds of stuff out there. At one point, they were kind of like the biggest company, but now it's like they don't make anything. Like, they don't make anything. They had the Mini GS, the Axe, and, like, Tipman stuff. Paint's the biggest thing for sure. I was like, I didn't really think you're wrong. My tone of voice made it feel that way. But paint for sure. I mean, paint's their biggest thing, but there's still a lot of their paint companies, Like, I use Defy paint quite a bit. I mean, I kind of want Defy to sponsor the channel. I might reach out to Defy and try to get a sponsor. Paraplegic turtles. The paraplegic turtles. But they're just weird, like, whatever they're called. I don't know. Are they called National Paintball Supply? Are they called Key Action Sports? Is it called GI Sports? Is it called Core? I mean, those are the four, like, names of that company in the last, like, 15 years. It's crazy. I don't know who makes the best paint. I know that at this last tournament, at the Chicago event, they were talking about they're not really, in Chicago it's normally hot and humid, and it was like 70 degrees the first day, so a lot of teams were having problems breaking paint and stuff. Yeah, I like that. Pew Pew Mike says, yeah, I need a paint sponsor too, so I can continue to shoot my tree. That's funny. That's funny. Their naming scheme is wild. It's not wild because they've had to like reformulate their company multiple times. They've like claimed bankruptcy multiple times, and then like, I don't know, I've lost track. It's so confusing. It's so confusing. Who knows? Yeah, I want to get Defy. I think Defy. I definitely need to find sponsors for this channel. Sorta. I mean, I want to do. What I'd really like to have is like, people buy merch. What I'd really like, is sponsors just for the live stream. Like we could have like little logos in the corners or something like that. I watch other podcasts and like Play the Game. They have sponsors, and like the Spick and Span Show, they have sponsors. So like, why the hell can't I get any goddamn sponsors? You know what I'm saying? I mean, our views are about the same, so I don't know why like. Because I'm not pro. Nobody knows who I am. I'm not cool enough to have a case of paint kicked to me. Papa Beans. I like that name. What is your opinion on the New Orleans Hurricanes? I don't know. I don't really have an opinion. I think that, well, I guess I do. Only if someone asks. Hurricanes. I always say Hurricanes too for some reason. I don't know. The Hurricanes. We talked about them earlier a little bit. I really like this teams that have all the same people they've kind of always had, right? I think that we kind of see that. We definitely see that with Damage. New York Extreme are like that. Some of the Revo players are like that, although Revo's changed a bit recently. But I like those teams that have kind of like come up together and stuck together. And the Hurricanes are very, very good. I mean, Nick Ripple played very well for them on that Snake side. And it's just cool to see like new teams doing really well. So I like the Hurricanes just because they're like an underdog team, and they could like, give a run to give other high-end pro teams, a run for their money. Like when they play Dynasty or when they play Heat or Damage or Impact, they give them good games, right? They either beat those teams or they lose by one, which is really cool. Yep. Squarespace will sponsor anyone with a beating heart. Sorta. A lot of the YouTube sponsors you see on channels, on like YouTube channels that were like, say a Squarespace thing, a lot of the times they don't actually pay that person. So like, if I were to have like watching random YouTube video, right? And there's a Squarespace ad. A lot of the times, those like companies like Squarespace, for instance, they don't necessarily pay the person to put that ad up there. What they're doing is just giving you an affiliate code so that if anybody signs up for Squarespace, you get like 30% of that or whatever. You get 30% of whatever the sign up was. And there's no way I'm going to get anyone to sign up for Squarespace. That's like crazy. I have kind of thought about some of those things like that. But there's no way that they might not even allow me to do it. But that's really how most of those work. And it's very difficult to get people to sign up for like programs and stuff. So Squarespace. You going to the CEPL event this weekend? Yeah, I'm going to go. I'll be there on Saturday for sure. I might go rock climbing, I think, on Sunday. I don't know yet, 100%. Hurricanes, shot theory. Hurricanes are legit hard workers. They play very much like us in terms of game theory. Yeah, I think they were talking about, by us he means Tampa Bay Damage. Yeah, they were even like talking about during the webcast, didn't they call it like the down south defense? Something like that. The down south defense or whatever. And it makes sense. I think that Damage was always known for, and maybe not as much anymore. I feel like Keith has been like super aggressive and maybe changing the style of Damage play a little bit. But I always feel like Damage was that team that they're like, as long as we can get to 5-on-5, like they play so good as a team that they're just able to beat teams 5-on-5 a lot because they're so disciplined and everyone's so good. And as long as Damage don't make mistakes, they can win a lot of the games. And that's kind of the way the Hurricanes played, right? They would like get the bunkers and kind of wait and just sit, which might not be the most exciting to watch, but I don't really dislike it. You know, I've talked about that I kind of like the slower games because when we're getting like the, you know, the whole match where it's like 5-5 or something, a lot of those points are so quick, you kind of can't like analyze it as much, right? I really like when the points are like 3 minutes or 4 minutes long because it kind of gives me an opportunity to be like, oh, I think this guy should do this, or, you know, why is this guy doing this, or, you know, that was a good job. I didn't know that could happen, whatever it is. So I kind of like those like longer drawn out points a little bit. But that's coming from me, like, you know, a super paintball person. Like I've watched so much paintball that that's what I prefer. I don't know if that's what most people prefer. I certainly probably wouldn't if I was new. If I was a new player, this shit would drive me crazy. I'd be like, what the hell are these idiots doing just sitting around? It would be like kind of annoying. So I totally get why the league and like people want to see us, not us, but they want to see people play faster. Jacob Edwards and his one-on-one skills. Yeah, I really would like to see more one-on-ones. I think that I really like to see Oliver Lang's like Elite Tour, the Joust, is that what they're calling that? The one-on-one thing, right? Joust. What's the other one called? The Gauntlet? No. But I'd really like to see like actual good one-on-one points. We kind of got to see that with like the Ultimate Shootout during COVID when Ghost Sports did like their one-on-one thing. But I'd really like to see some of those players play a little more. Like I'd really like to see Jacob, you know, play like what the hell? Well, what am I trying to say? Tyler Harmon. That's the name I'm looking for. I'd like to see that. Yeah. People love to call us defense. Total bullshit. Nor do we care much what commentators think if the goal is to win. People running down like idiots and getting pummeled is stupid. People call. No, I'll analyze that a little more. People call. Well, yeah, who cares about? Well, I would care about commentators. But the whole purpose of it is winning, yeah. So it doesn't really matter how you get there. I mean, the whole purpose of doing it is to win the tournament. But I would care what commentators say. I would care what they say because it might affect our brand as a team. I would be different. I'd be like, hey, they can't say that. You can't be saying that about us. We gotta sell this stuff. We gotta be able to sell, you know, our jerseys. Like, I don't know. I'd care what they're saying so that they made us sound cool. I don't know, though. I feel like maybe the reason I think about Damage playing like defensively is because like I don't know. I don't know. I think Jason Edwards, and like I always see him like playing a little more slow. I mean, obviously Jason's a back guy, so he's going to do that, but I don't know. Shot Theory. Dan Holiday. Tampa Bay Damage member. I always say that so people know what we're talking about. I'd be willing to bet we play more one-on-one than other teams. Brian Smith will destroy people in one-on-ones too. Really? I mean, I have no idea. We don't really see Brian play as much. Like, I think about, like, I mean, I guess we do. I don't know. I don't know. My brain's starting to die. I'm trying to think. I think it's just because we don't think about him that way. You know, it's like, what other people, it's like, you know, we just don't think about him doing that. It's like me, right? Like, forever, you know, I played, you know, in the back, and I played, like, you know, back, essentially. Maybe I'd go to a mid player, be like, you know, second to the Dorito side or something like that. But I can play front too, you know, like I can go play front positions, but people don't really expect it, you know, because I'm big, or, you know, I've constantly been in the back bunkers. So just because I don't see it happen, or we don't see it happen, or I don't think about it, doesn't mean it can't or whatever. I don't know. Yeah. I feel like when you slow the game down, you can get more multi-kills much easier. I don't know. I'm not sure. Probably not. I mean, I'd probably say it's the other way. Because a lot of the times when you're playing crazy fast and aggressive, you're just able to, like, whatever. Brian Smith, he's, like I said, I've said that before. Brian Smith, he's probably one of my favorite players to watch, though. He's just so silky smooth. Bart Davey, been away from the sport for around 3 to 4 years. What happened with AC Dallas? Did they get relegated? Yeah, actually, I just had to remember. Kind of. So there were two teams at one point. There was AC Dallas and AC Diesel. AC Diesel was the semi-pro team. And then a lot of people left AC Dallas. And they got... I could be wrong about this. Let me know in the chat if I'm totally off base. AC Dallas got relegated. And at the same time, or the year later, or something like that, AC Diesel got bumped up into the pro division. And then within that organization, they kind of just started to pay all attention to that Diesel team. And AC Dallas is just no longer a team. I think that some of the guys... Actually, I don't really know if any of the Diesel players were played for AC Dallas. Mark Johnson might have. I don't know. That's what happened, I think. They're pretty much just, I mean, you could pretty much just say it's like renamed. It's like the same team, just AC Diesel. Kind of, something like that. Yep. All right, guys. Chat room slowing down, and I don't know what to talk about. BJ for a season. That's right, BJ Henningberg. He played for AC Dallas. I remember that. BJ's super good. He's old too. He's like 45 or something, right? Like BJ's super old, and it's really cool to see him like crazy aggressive still, like going to the snake off the break and all kinds of stuff. All kinds of jazz. Mark definitely did. I couldn't remember. I know I'm positive he played for AC Dallas Diesel when they were semi-pro. Positive? Now I'm not positive. I don't know. Taylor White, ICPL Chicago predictions. I got no idea. No idea. We were just looking at the teams, and like most of the teams don't have even like, they have their roster and they have paid, but they don't even have anybody on their rosters. So I don't even know who necessarily is playing. Plus, those are always hard tournaments to predict because it's random. You get like teams that don't ever play those sometimes, and it can like screw everything up. It's not like, you know, NXL Pro where it's the same teams every time. And I don't really know. I don't really know, you know, the ICPL teams good enough. Alex says, I played with BJ Henningberg on X Factor D2, and he's one of the fastest players I've seen. You know what's crazy is there's Shane Howe that plays for AC Diesel. Shane is also old. I mean, Shane's probably mid-40s, and he is extremely fast still. He doesn't really play as much, but he's very quick still. Very quick. Yeah. Mark, yeah, I meant he's always been on Diesel, Mark. Greg Pauly, I've told this story before a lot. Greg Pauly, when he played for Vicious, Greg Pauly, the coach of AC Diesel, right? Is he still the coach? I don't know. He shot me in the back of the head so much one time my head swelled up and was like so swollen, it was like touching the back of my ear. So it like swelled up so much, it was like this. He was like, he shot me in the back of the head like 15 times. It was crazy. And they got a 10-minute gross major for it. It was wild. It was wild. Vicious. I hated playing those guys. They were just a bunch of assholes. But I kind of feel that like I would, if I played pro, I'd probably kind of feel like everyone was an asshole. Because they're just playing at like a different level than I want to play paintball at. People are talking shit to each other and like, I'm like, don't be mean. What are we doing? So funny. Brad, what you think about Sacramento DMG? I don't know. It's such a big thing. Like, what do you mean? That's such a vague question about like, I don't know. I mean, I guess sure. First, I guess I think that it's good that like regions or cities have like teams like that or places to go, right? One of the coolest things about DMG, or there's, a lot of other teams around the country that have a bunch of different divisions. I mean, DMG at one point had pro. They were doing pro, I think Division 2. They had like a D3 team. They had multiple Division 4 teams. So it's really cool as someone local, you can go get into that organization, and there's always so many teams and so many people that you could play some events and not have to play some maybe, or move up in rank really simply. So I think that's really cool that we have that local team, that like people have somewhere to go, right? There's always DMGs there. I think it sucks they don't have a pro team anymore. I think that's kind of lame. Although DMG was never really that good of a pro team. They always struggled. And then now I think, unfortunately, struggling in the semi-pro division, but with a whole new roster. So none of the guys that played pro except for Marvin Gerber. I think he's on that semi-pro team. He is. I think the Capital Edge Paintball League here in Sacramento, DMG also used to play those, but there was a little bit of a controversy earlier this year, and the DMG teams aren't allowed to play that anymore, which kind of makes sense because DMG is owned by Dave Baines. Woo! Bushwhackers. Yeah, just like the Bushwhackers. That's a good one. I was thinking about like old teams. The old Bushwhackers, they had a lot of teams. But yeah, DMG is sponsored by the field and DMG is owned by Dave Baines. Dave also owns the paintball field that the tournament is held. Those tournaments are held at. So it's kind of weird. So it kind of makes sense that they can't play those anymore. But that kind of sucks too. I think they kind of are, but they're just not calling it DMG. I think that they're going to make like, so say last year they had like 6 teams in total. I think this year or next year or the remainder of the year, I think they might do like 3 DMG teams and have like 3 other teams that aren't called DMG, but they're kind of affiliated or associated with them. But they're still going to play those Capital Edge tournaments. Right? Something like that. What is the next scenario game you're going to? I have no idea. I've never even like been to a scenario game, really. I really haven't ever. Bushwhackers is coming back. I think they should get Ron Kilborn out there. Be like, imagine Ron Kilborn still around. Yep. DMG. So I think it's cool that they have like lots of places. Ulysses! There's too many S's in there. I appreciate super chats are friggin' awesome, guys. It's like the way that this whole thing gets paid for. Any thoughts on Hellfire full auto switch valve for the EMAC from Paintball Gateway? I have no idea. I've never even heard of such a device. So, let's all look at it. Let's go find it. Oh yeah, Axel leaving Impact. I think it makes sense. I think that, Axel Godin, player for, I don't even know what this is. Axel Godin, player, he plays for Edmonton Impact here in the U.S., and he plays for the Tauntauns, the Tauntaun Flingers in Europe, and then the Tauntauns are going to play World Cup. So he's deciding to quit Edmonton Impact and play with the Tauntauns, which I really like. I think that's cool. I would like to see the Tauntauns do well at World Cup. I just think it's kind of cool that they can come over and play the last event this year. So I like it. I mean, I think it's cool. Who knows what Axel is going to do next year, though? So who knows? I don't even know what the hell this is. I totally missed this thing. The Paintball Gateway Customs Planet Eclipse EMAC 100, EMF 100, GMAC Hellfire Full Auto Switch 7 to 10 BPS Batch 2 pre-order. That's a long-ass name for a product. The first batch is sold out. Ships mid to late October. Let's read this. Warning. Lightened trigger spring. So this is... So that's like the back part of the bolt, right? And they have like a plug for the safety. Why does it say full auto? Is it actually full auto? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, if it actually makes the gun full auto? Does it actually make the gun full auto? Who knows anything about this? Is it actually making the gun full auto? I don't know. Loyalty is everything, and the Tauntauns actually played very competitively last World Cup against Damage. The Tauntauns are legit. Which is crazy. They don't have any of like their old players. They don't have like Loic Valou or like Fabrice or like any of the old like, Tauntaun guys. It does kind of suck to quit on a team halfway through the year, especially when you're their best player though. I mean, that's kind of a thing, right? Like looking back, if you're going to pick up Axel, say like Houston Heat's like, oh, what about Axel? We can grab him for the next year, 2024. Having him quit on Impact is not the greatest, When you're looking at new players, you're like, well, what's he going to do? Quit on us next year? Is he going to quit when Tauntauns play World Cup? I also wonder that, too. It's like, doesn't he have, like, a contract? Didn't he sign anything? Like, if I was to play for that team, I'd be signing something. Even if they didn't offer it, I'd be like, I had my lawyer draft up this contract. I don't know. It just seems like that's what should happen. What are you guys talking about? Hello again, Corey. Matt, only 7 to 10 balls doesn't seem worth it to me. Yeah, that's not very slow. Yep, that's like a real full auto thing, and it's only, 7 to 10 balls a second, and it makes your gun real full auto. I don't know. I guess it could be fun, but most places aren't going to allow full auto anyway. I mean, most paintball fields don't let you use full auto. There's like insurance things and all kinds of stuff. You can't really do it. And 7 balls a second isn't really that fast. I mean, most people with like, if you get like, a hair valve with a, FL3 valve, or you get like a bang switch or whatever, you get a secret pin. Most of those people, most people can probably shoot about 6 to 7 balls a second anyway. I definitely know that, with the CS3 mechanical, I can shoot like 7-ish or 8, and I can't shoot fast at all. So some of those people out there with like, fast trigger fingers can for sure shoot faster. Tauntauns automatically get top 4 because they won Europe NXL. What does that mean? I don't even know what that means. What are thoughts on the Halo Hoppers making a return? I kind of talked about that. I don't want to talk about it all over again. It's kind of stupid. That's my that's my take. Ben Lawton, recommendations for barrel cameras. I don't really know. Do I have my camera on here? Yeah, I took it off. It's gotten really hard. I think that I still probably prefer the GoPro Session 4 or 5, whatever the newest one is. I think it's 5. Sheldon. GoPro Session 4 or 5, whatever it is. And I like those because they're so small, right? When you put it on your gun, if you use like an HK Army mount or whatever, it's perfectly center. And it's small enough where it doesn't really get in the way. When you put like a full-size GoPro on your barrel, it's just so wide that it's just harder to see, right? Like if we compare, like this is not a GoPro, but it's about the same size. It's so much bigger compared to that. It's a lot harder to see around this camera than it is like the GoPro Session. Yeah. So I like these because they're small, but the quality is not the greatest, right? Certainly a lot of the newer cameras out there, whether it's like, these Insta360 cameras. Right now I have the 360 camera on there. Or like, DJI makes some new cameras. I think those all look better, but they're just too big, right? They're like big and wacky. I don't know. Top 4 seeding into World Cup. I thought that's what you meant. I wasn't really sure. So basically, they get in automatically to the quarterfinals. Do they really? They don't have to play like... Is there a bye? I think that I heard some people talking about there's a bye. Is there a bye at World Cup? Do you get to like skip a match or something like that? The teams have a bye? I don't know. Yeah, old soul. 7 to 10 is slow enough to get past some refs. That's true. And I mean, 7 balls a second full auto does not sound that fast. I mean, people are using ramping guns all the time and no one really says anything. So full auto is not like whatever. Whoa. There's coffee everywhere. They play the games, but it's for seeding only. It's weird to play the games then. I'd be like, we're just not going to play. They only play the top 3 U.S. teams and Europe team. I think I get it. I don't know. Sheldon went to my first NXL event in Chicago on Sunday and it got rained on. That was okay. Hopefully it was fun. I mean, I think that sometimes these first tournaments, you kind of get to the tournament and you're like, wow, this is like bigger than you expect maybe, or like there's more people there than you expect. I know that's kind of what I thought. My first like, you know, big tournament back in the day, it was like, wow, there's so many people here. It was just like bigger than I expected, you know. I think that the vendors are probably okay there. People are trying to describe to me how the World Cup works. I got no idea. Find yourself a camera sponsorship. There's no way in hell that no one's going to sponsor this. Like Sony or something? That'd be insane. There's no way. I mean, I'd take it. Videos on Instagram. I don't know. Well, guys, I was starstruck meeting professional players. Yeah. I've never met a paintball player that I was like, oh, cool. I mean, yeah, I'm meeting like, you know, some of the Dynasty guys, like being able to go to Field 1 and like, you know, kind of hang out with Alex Frazier and Yo Shrou's kind of cool. That was kind of neat. Yeah. I really like Alex. I think Alex is awesome. I mean, Alex is funny and he's nice and he probably makes an excellent husband. All right. Who wants to come back next weekend? You know, at some point here, you know, I kind of showed a video that was supposed to be out like weeks ago. We talked about the blunderbuss barrel from Paintball DNA, and I don't know. I mean, I'm waiting for it to get monetized. It's been sitting at YouTube now for 10 days. Who knows? I can close that now. Who all have you met? You know, I don't know. I really haven't met a lot of pro players. I think that some of them might know this YouTube channel, you know? I don't know. I really have no idea, dude. I have no idea. But not a lot. I mean, only people that are from Sacramento. And I don't know. I don't know the people, so it's weird to me to talk to them. I don't want to walk to them and be like, hello, nice to meet you. I'm Brad. Like, that's a little weird. Be like, hello. You don't know me. So, yeah. But people from Sacramento, you know, probably the most famous paintball player is probably Tyler. Tyler Harmond. Harmando. Tyler Harmando. Tyler... Although I've known Tyler for a long time. I mean, like a decade and a half or something crazy like that. You got to come check out my new shop, Brad. Some parking lot, but bigger. Same parking lot, but bigger space. That sounds like what I did with my shop. What are you talking about? What shop? You got to come check out my new shop, Brad. Same parking lot, but bigger space. That's literally what I did. That's what I did with my paintball shop. I had the paintball store and just moved over one building. Sheldon, I know. I never talk about that. I don't like it. It's so weird. I don't like it. Man, World Cup. I went to World Cup a long time ago. It was like, I think I went to World Cup in 2018. And at one point, like, I was like walking around signing autographs. It was fucking crazy. It was so weird. We were at one, this was like the height of the YouTube channel. Back when I made actual paintball things. It wouldn't be like this at all now. But there was like, I don't know what booth we were at, but someone just walked up to me and I was like talking to him for a second and he's like, "Oh, take a picture with me." And I was like, "Sounds good." And we took a picture and then like a line started forming. There was like 10 people formed a line to talk to me. It was the craziest shit ever. I'm like, you guys are weird. I'm like, why? Who cares? It was very weird. Some people get nervous. I had someone at the paintball field the other day was like, oh my God, it's you. I'm like, yep. It's freaking weird. I can't imagine what it would be like. You know, I feel like people, it's like paintball, right? Like any of these paintball players, we're like famous at the paintball field, right? And like people know who you are and stuff. And like, it's kind of cool, but kind of not at the same time. It's neat that I can like, people know who I am. Or if you know who I am, you kind of know who I am, right? So like you kind of know what to expect and like whatever. So it's interesting because it's like that person already knows who you are, but I don't know them. So it's kind of freeing in a way that I can just be whatever. You know, I don't care. This person kind of knows who I am. But I couldn't imagine, just imagine being like Brad Pitt. And like, yeah, those, you know, there were some people, you know, got in a little bit of a line because they thought I was cool for a minute. But could you imagine what it's like to be Brad Pitt? Or like The Rock, or like LeBron James? Like that would be awful. I mean, those people can't go anywhere. You're not going to movies. You're not going to dinner. Like they just can't go anywhere. But you know, when us, like this guy, Shot Theory, Dan Holiday, when he goes to the movies, no one knows who he is. Maybe every once in a while. I had a guy yell at me when I was walking down the street once. I was in Starbucks, someone knew who I was. Sometimes I think kids know who I am, but they don't want to say anything because they'll be like staring at me all weird. And I'm like, that guy knows who I am. But I can't imagine what it would be like to be actually famous. It would be awful. Awful, I tell you. Awful. Two huge groups of people, those who are a little nervous and respect pros' spaces, and those who go up and ask for their gear. That's true. You know, I like it when people come up to me and they're like, hey, whatever. Nice to, you know, whatever. But it is weird when people ask you for shit. I'm like, dude, I don't got no money. Like, people ask all the time in comments, give me a gun. Send me a gun. I always ask for their address just in the comments. I'm like, post your address here. No one, I don't think anyone's done it yet. Ooh, wait, I met Tyler Harmon and almost shit myself. You know what's so crazy though? You think about like these people and we all look at like, it's like famous people, right? Like I'd be nervous as shit if LeBron was standing over there. If LeBron was just going to watch me do a live stream. Like, holy shit. Bron and Kevin Durant are just like hanging out. I'd be like, ugh. But it's funny, like they're just dudes. They're just idiot people like we all are, right? You know, it's like Sheldon's like, I got nervous meeting Tyler, and I'm like, that's funny. Tyler's an idiot. Tyler's an idiot in a good way. Just like I'm an idiot. We're just stupid people having fun. Anyway. Started watching you in Chicago, moved to San Jose, and I met you at the CEPP. Caught me off guard. CEPP. Anyway. The best possible way to interact with me in the stands, watching games, and just shouting. It would be good. Alright, it's... Dan, I'll see you. You better go to NXL Vegas. I'll be in the stands. Holiday! I'll just start screaming at you. They're like, no, because there's no sideline communication. I'm like, what? I'm just yelling at him. I'm not like giving away positions. I like it. Yep. Enough about that. I don't like talking about it. I'm not a fan of talking about myself. That's like the first time I probably ever talked about that World Cup thing. World Cup stuff. It was weird, dude. Because I think about like, when I'm at the paintball field here too, it's like, you know, I feel like people know who I am because I'm just at the paintball field all the time. You know, most of the people that like I hang out with or like talk to at the paintball field have known me for a long time. They've known me way longer than this YouTube thing. So like I go to the paintball field and no one talks to me at all. Like it's just like I talk to whoever I normally talk to. But getting like bombarded with people at World Cup was crazy. Am I going to World Cup? I am not going to World Cup. I definitely will be at NXL Las Vegas in like March or whatever. I'm going to go from here on out. I hope so. You know, it's kind of crazy. It's just kind of crazy how like old people are playing, right? Like it's just weird. Everyone's like so old in like all sports. You know, we got like old basketball players. And I was talking about LeBron. He's like 40 and he's still like better than everyone. I mean, you got Aaron Rodgers tearing his ACL. He's old. You know, there's so many old paintball players still too. There's lots of guys in their like 40s who are still good. I mean, Ryan Greenspan's 40 and he's like, you know, still like the best player. Who else is old? There's a lot of old guys. I was talking about BJ Henningberg earlier. He's like 45 and still like super fast and athletic and still like insane. So it's really cool. It really gives like, I think, hope and like inspiring to all people, right? Whether they're old or young. I know it's really cool and it makes me feel good when I see, you know, people my age, 39, 40 years old, that are still really good at sports and still really like athletic and spry and all that stuff. Yeah. Oh my gosh. 21 years old? Lord. Woo! You know, I've thought about that sometimes. I was like, damn, I could have like a 20-year-old kid. You know, if I easily could have had a kid when I was like 16. That would be insane. I could not imagine that. I'd have like a 25-year-old kid. Like, I feel like I'm 19. I don't even... Not really. I mean, kind of. Bobby Kramer, for sure. I mean, that's one of the good things I've always said about paintball. I mean, it's a little bit hard to play pro at like 70. You know, that might be hard. But one of the cool things about paintball is you just stand there, right? I mean, you know, obviously, if you're running to the snake off the break, you're not standing there. But a lot of people that are playing professional just go like this. And they just stand there. They're just standing there. So it's cool that, you know, paintball, we literally can play super aggressive or super fast. Which is cool. You know, and my grandfather played, I think when he was like 80 something. Something like that. My grandfather died when he was 95 though. So when he was like in his 80s, he was still good. Having to be in high school, I can't. Dude. Well, it worked out. I mean, I assume. I don't know what I'd be doing. I'd be like a truck driver or some bullshit if I was like Gary. You know, I don't know. I think about like Porter says, I feel 19 until I dive into Snake, then I feel 40. I don't. I don't. I think my biggest problem is that I'm just way out of shape, right? I'm definitely having problems with this knee. And it's mainly just because I'm like so out of shape that I think it's a problem. Yeah, I'm just really out of shape. Anabolic steroids, blood doping. We talked about that last time. HGH, I heard, helps. Or so a friend told me. Yeah, I don't know if I could do... Blood doping's a whole crazy scheme, though. I don't know. You know, one of the problems I have with steroids, like anything, right? Like, people are taking TRT, that like testosterone replacement therapy. And my theory behind that is that, like, as we get older, our bodies age. Groundbreaking. We get older, our bodies age, right? And you become more susceptible to like tumors and cancer and stuff like that. So you just become more susceptible to those things. And I'm pretty sure that one of the reasons like our testosterone levels decrease or downregulate when we get older is to prevent the growth of like tumors and cancer. Because if you have a tumor and you pump your body full of like testosterone, it will actually grow the tumor faster. So that's like one of my concerns about like getting older and looking at like TRT or something like that is that, you know, I'm taking TRT when I'm 50, but I'm also right in that age where like I could get cancer or like a tumor or something, and then that TRT could like kick off tumor growth or like accelerate tumor growth, which is a little scary to me. And I feel that like our bodies have evolved to not have testosterone levels high later in life, right? It's kind of the whole point, right? Not the whole point, but like evolution has just made that happen. So I don't know. I guess I'll like have to look at people getting cancer and stuff when I need it. The closer you are to death, the more you feel alive. That's probably true though. That's why I let a little blood out every morning. So I'm a little bit weird about like these drugs or like, you know, stuff later in life. Yeah. Corey Wilson, knees over toes guy. Did you actually say guy though? You just said knees over toes. Yeah, knees over toes guy. I've watched that. I found that guy's video so long ago. And I do some of those things. Like I definitely do a lot of, I've started to do sled stuff. And I pull the sled backwards. I have like a slant board. I do quite a few of those exercises every day. Well, I think I do like 3 exercises that he recommends doing. But I'll tell you, pulling the sled backwards, that feels really good if you have a sled you can push around. Any dates for NXL Las Vegas? I don't know. I think NXL Vegas is like March, mid-March or something. Oh, man. Like that. Bobby Kramer. Who outside of the top 4 has the biggest chance to win World Cup? Diesel make it to Sunday. I know Diesel's not been good, right? I think about like Mark Johnson. Mark Johnson? Mark Jackson. Mark Johnson. I think about Mark Johnson spending all that money on like the team and they just haven't done good at all. I don't know who outside the top 4. I want the Tauntauns to win. That's what I want. Go Tauntauns. They're not going to do that, but I wish they would. I don't know, dude. Maybe they could win. Who knows? Maybe it is. Mark Jackson. Mark Jackson's NBA coach. March Madness. That's right. Last time I went to, I don't know, was it 2018 or 2019 we went? 2018? I don't know. One year we went to Vegas and it was crazy. There was like, I think the porn convention was going on. March Madness was on. So it was like there were no hotels. And, you know, my friend Kyle and I kind of have winged it when we've traveled before. And we were like, let's not get hotel rooms. And then the cheapest rooms we could find were like $400. We were like, we could get a tent and sleep at the field. It was like, it was terrible. And we were just going to hang out. It was just so much money. It was crazy. Mark said this was a 3-year plan, so let's see how he feels about that after this year. I imagine he's still down. I can't see that he would be like, nope, we're pulling the plug. Because he definitely has the players to win tournaments. They just haven't been doing as well as, you know, they have or they could, we'll say, with their current roster. They're doing just about as good as Impact, right? I mean, I don't even know. I'm not even sure what the standings are. Let's find out. Ooh. NXL. Ooh, that's not really what I want to look at. Season rankings. Look at that. 1133. 210 11. That's a 10th place is brutal. What were we talking about? Shit. Diesel. Look at they're in 10th place. They got an 8th. I mean, that's... But the ML Kings are ranked higher than they are. That's crazy. I mean, I don't know if the ML Kings are, you know, better or worse than the AC. I mean, I guess they're better. Infamous is higher. Impact's higher. The Hurricanes. Extreme. X Factor. Could Extreme or the Hurricanes win World Cup? Probably not. I mean, World Cup is definitely that tournament where people come to play, right? They're maybe a little bit more serious than typical, and everybody wants to win World Cup. So the Latin Saints are definitely getting relegated. Jeez, they only have 30 points. Dynasty has 746. Who knows, though? I mean, so what's the difference between first place? So 200 and... Yeah, Dynasty's probably going to win the series. Unless they do, like, just awful. I mean, Damage probably has to win, or Heat have to win. And then Dynasty has to get, like, you know, freaking, like, last place or something like that to be able to not win the series. Edmonton Impact's been playing good besides their Revo game, but they got into Sunday for Windy City. That's true. Latin Saints are a Cinderella story if there ever have been. Really? Isn't that like when you do good? Like you're bad and then good? They like went the opposite way. If Dynasty takes another third, they will win the series. No matter what happens? Probably. That's what it looked like. Okay, there we go. 4th place Dynasty and 1st place Damage. Damage win the series. So as long as Dynasty places higher than... It looks like 3rd or higher, they should win, huh? Man, it's good to see Damage do well, though. It always is. I always kind of like the team. Where the hell did my, like, thingy go? Whatever happened to, like, wasn't there that, like, ooh, paintball win count? Is this still, like, an actual thing? Does this still work? Nope. Or does it? Oh, it does. Pretty much. Paintball win count. I don't know who makes this website or what the deal is. Oh, look at that little COVID thing. Little spike proteins. I just want to see on Series Champs. So Series Champs 2022 Dynasty, Dynasty 2021, 2020, Dynasty, X Factor, Heat, Impacto, Dynasty, Heat, Dynasty, Damage 2010. Damn, look at the Ironman. Crazy. Man, this goes back really far. NXL Europe, but wasn't it Millennium? Oh, wow. This is what I was curious about, like, the other day. Damn, were there that many events? They had 6 events in Europe back in the day. Lisbon. Danish. I don't know. Mayhem? I don't even know what those are. Man, I missed the Millennium. I like the Millennium series. Damn, look at Arc Chaos. Arc Chaos was dope, too. Look at that Infamous one in London. Impacto. The Impact started going over there and just winning all the goddamn tournaments. This needs an update. Larna. Anyway. Alright, guys. Oh! Dynasty can get 4th if they lose their first game Sunday. Man, I don't know how any of this works. I don't know how any of the like ranking works. Okay, I'm gonna go. What time is it? 7? I don't know what's happening. Yep, I'm gonna go. Makes you miss Faithful. I worked for Faithful for a little bit. They never paid me though. They just decided not to pay me. Yep. That's Paintball for you. Just don't pay the people that work for you. It was so long ago. I mean, this was like not that long ago, really. Probably like, no, it was a while ago. Maybe like, is it really 40 grand for first place? That's cool. That's an actual prize. I mean, normally they give you like $400, which is ridiculous. Faithful. That's probably like 2010 or something like that. Yeah, that's what's crazy. Normally they give like money away to the teams. You're like, oh, you won 10 grand or whatever. It's like, but you got to split it up between like 14 people. It's like crazy. To be completely selfish, it's not selfish. I don't care about series and would like to play them for first and second for the win. Yeah, I've kind of always would rather have won tournaments, right? It's like, I mean, the series title's cool, and especially because, like, you know, if Dynasty, you know, or Damage win the title, it's cool because you guys actually have won tournaments. You know, those two teams, you know, you've won the tournaments this year. But it's kind of weird how, like, teams can win the, you know, you could technically win the series title without even playing, or without even winning a tournament, which is a little weird. And I'd probably rather win a tournament because you get that like feeling of winning, right? You win the title and it's like, like we didn't like beat a team to win this really. Like when you're on the field and you actually win, it's kind of, I think, cooler. That's what I would rather say. Dan Ryan said that on the Spick and Span show, they want to win World Cup. They don't care that much about the series. No one cares about series. I would. If I won the goddamn series, I'd be like, fuck yeah. We won the goddamn series. I care about the series. I think fans kind of care about it a little bit. Like, I kind of look at it, but yeah, it's not like winning actual events. I mean, I'd rather win a friggin' tournament. Especially World Cup. Alright, guys. I'm really leaving this time. It's been 2.5 hours. And I appreciate everybody. You know, if you think you're up to it, you know, make sure you like this thing. It helps me out, you know. Go back and look at the jersey rankings. The Bears won the top jersey spot. Crazy. Guys, I appreciate it. Like I said, come back Thursday. Hopefully goddamn videos will be out this coming week. Dependent on YouTube. They decide to say I can monetize them or not. I always do that. Cup has always been a tourney to win. Everyone celebrates the tournament over this series, and the winner doesn't win both. True. I don't think I read that right. All right, you sons of bitches. I'm out of here. Enjoy the night.